Saying, hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to the Dojo. My name is Carmen. We have Nothmar and Ray with us once again this week. A lot has been happening, and I think depending on your perspective of the market, it is either very, very good or very, very bad. I don't think everything is the way that it was in September and October, but I think if you were a person in January who was saying, "I wish it was October again," you're almost getting your wish. You're not getting you're not getting a $900 Todd or whatever that was in September, but you're even getting your 1.2K Superman, right? Like that's kind of we're seeing
Is that what it is right now?
I think the low is 1.2K over the weekend. I think it's back to like 1.5.
Sold two Superman at 1.6.
You did?
Yep, just two. That's why I had a lot of cash.
Nice. Yeah, man. That's dope.
That's it. I'm done. Done. I have no more Superman.
Oh, you like liquidated.
I liquidated.
You know, I have a feeling like we'll get to it, and we'll get to it when we get to it. Let's talk about this week's drops first. Yep. I loved this week's drops. We only got 3 since last week. We talked about the battle statue. We can talk about the battle statue again. But before I give my 2 cents, Nothmar, what do you think about the drops this week?
Well, the Flash, right? The battle statue. I mean, I thought it was overpriced. I definitely did not go for it, but prices did go down for me to actually buy a few. I bought a lot actually because I had a lot of gems. I bought like 10 of them. So, and they're like at 80s, and I did get one really low mint one. So I think Flash, is a key character that can, if market pumps up, I mean, I think it can hit at least 150, right? Keep the, my expectations low, right? So 150, maybe 180, I think it's doable. If things get hot again, maybe it can get up to 300. So I think at 80, 90s, when I bought it, I think it's a decent, fair deal. So I did load up on them. The Black Cat surprise, actually, Black Cat 2, it's getting dumped and it's really cheap in the market. But I finally gave in again because I had a lot of cash because I sold all my Superman. I bought like 20 plus. Like I loaded up on the Black Cats because there were $4, for them. So I actually hit my new milestones for my NFTs. I hit my 2000 comic milestone and then 700 like collectibles, number. So I was like, oh, why not? It's only $4 a pop. I got like 20, 30 of like a Black Cat and like 20, 30 of what was the other one? There's another cheap one. Oh, the
Vengeance Chavez.
The Chavez, I got another 20, 30 of that one also because they're also $4 a pop, So I thought it was good because those are normally physical stuff that I would buy, the Chavez and the Black Cat, right? So for me, I was like, oh wow, $4 for these. I think these can definitely hit $10, maybe by next year. So it's a good deal. So I loaded up. I went against my code. I was trying to freeze and not buy anything right now, but I had so much gems that I figured why not.
Yeah, and I don't, and we can talk about this at length later, but at 4 gems.
4 gems, come on,
At 4 gems, it being, I mean, I would say out of every Spider-Man character in that universe that is exclusive to essentially Spider-Man lore and narrative and canon, I think Black Cat is numero uno. Like, I think she is the character. I mean, she's so popular that she has her own story arc now, right? Like, she now has 2 volumes, and I've read them, and they're amazing. And, you also get that Jace. I'm surprised that we didn't get a J. Scott Campbell variant, but whatever.
I was actually hesitant, like, bringing it up on this show because I felt like I should stack a little bit more before I bring it up. If it goes up, then it's gone, right?
But, is she that popular? I had no idea.
ASM 194?
Yeah.
Well, that was like...
Yeah, I sold a couple of physical ones. I sold like a signed copy for like something like $2,000, like a high grade 9.4, a year or 2 ago, and I sold pretty much all. I think I have 1 copy left. I had like 10 copies of that the past 2 years, and they're all gone, right? So
that was my first physical grail. Like that was the first physical graded book that I bought that I had no ink that I was like, this is something that I just think is so cool that I'm after. Like I had bought like UF4 and a couple other books prior to that, but they weren't at the time. Like I paid $75 for a 9.6 signed 4. Like it was a different market. I was still chasing the 194.
Yeah, surprisingly, I think she's becoming like a secret, like fan favorite, right? Like a secret, a minor key that's pretty much in demand. So it's not like popping like like Venom or like that. She's definitely still a tier below, but there is enough demand for the character in the book, I think.
But so real talk. What's your ceiling on it? What do you anticipate it? Because you said like the Bat Statue 150 is what your price. What do you see for that book?
Yeah, if the market picks up here, I mean, this could go up to, keep it low, maybe $15, maybe 18. That's reasonable. If you got $4, that's already times 4 times 5, right? So I think if you keep it low, probably around $15 to $18, I think is a reasonable target by end of the year, maybe. So
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's that's where I'm at. I mean, I'm a little more optimistic, but I'm emotionally it's my favorite.
Okay, good. What is it? 50? What do you think, Carmen?
For me, like where I think are we returning to the world of old and like on a pump? Like what's its
I don't know. I hope so. I mean, we think I don't know if it's gonna get that far, but I think it's gonna improve a little bit.
I think it's every bit of $75.
Wow.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it in terms of other 75. Like it's more important than that Vision book. Like it's more important than the Avengers book. It's more important than New Mutants 98. It's just So I'm again like I'm trying to chase those other tiers.
Vision, I still think Vision is slightly higher because Vision is like one of the first Avengers, right? I don't know if I would put Black Cat like over Vision, but
you're right.
Vision has been performing poorly though. It was hard for me to sell. I sold some at a profit, but then the rest of my Vision took a long while to sell. Until the TV show came up, but even then, I barely made a profit on the last few ones that I had. So.
Yeah, my LCS has that book on the wall. They originally put it on the wall for like $650. It's down to $4. It's still there. I wouldn't pay more than like $250 for it.
I just don't understand though, because I mean, maybe it was me because like when I was a kid, Vision was one of the most powerful Avengers. When I was like growing up, and I thought he was like one of the badasses of the Avengers that you can't kick his ass, right? He's like a robot that is unstoppable, right? So
yeah, I think it's because he's just not cool. Like he's like as in not cool as in a cool character, as in like a like he doesn't have as much. If you look at a lot of the popular characters now, they all have like a pretty rich personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is trending right now, like a snarky sort of thing, like more of a Tony Stark. Even I mean, if you look at they even really retconned Thor's character with Ragnarok and went in that direction.
Yeah.
And I just think Vision is just I'm not trying to say this negatively, but the word has a negative connotation. He's just a little more rigid and stale.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just harder, I think, for younger audiences to relate to him.
Yeah.
That's where my head's at.
And that's probably why hopefully they'll do something, right? At the end of that WandaVision, right? Like he got his like he got his like what do you call this? He figured out that he was back, but then he's still trying to figure out who he is. So he might not be the same Vision. He's not the same goody two-shoes Vision, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of question marks there. So maybe I see what you're saying, that he doesn't have the oomph.
Now, here's what might save him. He has a daughter. So if Viv ends up, which I could see that happening, and now if you have like a Vision and Viv sort of like the dad trying to raise the daughter, now I think I think you might see that catapult again.
Yeah, that I can see. I do have a couple of the first Viv because I think she does have potential. So
That's
maybe.
And the print run's low. It's a tough book to get a hold of. Yeah.
Agreed.
What about the other ones? We got Vengeance and Thor. What are your thoughts on the Thor statue?
Hey, I went for one, but God, I just don't like. I don't know what it is. I just don't know why the Marvel ones come off so cartoony. I get it's pretty. It's pretty. I guess in line with what comic Thor looks like, which a lot of the two wings on his head, right? Like that part. But to me, VeVe isn't. We know that VeVe. We've already said the comic folks haven't come to VeVe yet, so they have no idea that that's what Thor looks like in any way, shape, or form. And so they're all like, well, "Why the hell does this guy have wings on his head?" Right? And so I feel like it was an interesting way to take it. I just think they've got to start designing these things better. I don't know. Look at the Batman statues and then look at the Marvel statues.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think it's the same guy who's designing it, right? The same guy who did Storm and Black Panther, right? So the quality is kind of like shaky. So, but it is still the first appearance of Thor, and the common and uncommons are 20. So I have already started seeing some people saying that they're stacking it. If it's $20, they got like 20 of them, for 20, and it's the first appearance of Thor.
Hey, it's better than Deadpool, my bet. I think it's better than Christmas Deadpool, maybe.
Yeah, the Thor for me, he's an Avenger. If you actually look, like I actually sold let me make sure I bought it, because if I didn't buy it, I'll be pissed. Okay, so I sold my Captain America collectible a while ago. And then because Thor dropped, I went in and rebought a Captain America collectible because they're still reasonable too. And if you look at like the standard Avengers, you just have Thor and Captain America, right? And Captain America right now, I think, is it like anywhere from like 40 to 50 for the common. I prefer the uncommon just because I like how that looks, the shield and all that stuff. But I just, for $15 or for $17,
it's not bad.
No, Storm was as high as 120. Captain America Common was as high as like 150 to 180 or something crazy. Yeah. I can see Thor going to 75.
Yes. I think 75 is reasonable.
Yeah, right. And
100%.
75 is reasonable.
And I'm lucky in that I actually prefer the common collectible. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was kind of a win-win because I knew that I wonder. Listen, if you buy a blind box collectible, like Marvel realistic collectible on the drop, I think it's safe to say that just bet on losing half your money if you don't get an animated.
When Ray posted who's going for the drop, I said, yeah, why not? But then now look, oh shoot.
Yeah, I regret it. The minute I did it, I was like,
it craters afterwards, right? Unless you get, but I did badly. I did get 2 because I had a lot of gems, and the second one I got the UR. So so that was it got back. But still, if I got 2 commons or 2 uncommons, I would have lost more than half of it.
Now you got 2 on the drop.
On the drop, I bought it.
Yeah, it didn't sell out for like.
It did not sell out right away. So I did buy again, and then I got the UR after the second drop on the second drop.
And that's the thing. I think now you're realizing it's again like
no,
before there was a fear that if I buy it, if I buy it for 40 or 50 and I get a comment, I'll sell it for 50 and just try and break even.
Yep.
Like because of the bots, like we're now in that world again. We're like, hey, there's some of the bots are gone. So in my mind, I was like, oh, this is definitely going to go to 15 to $20. I'm just not going to buy it and then buy 2 commons, keep 1, flip 1 for later, and be done with it.
I was good with 1, but then I saw somebody post that they got an SR. I said that could be me too, so I bought another one.
I really like the SR. It's not. I prefer, again, like I said, I actually prefer the common. But I think when we look at these animated, and maybe I'm just making an excuse for Marvel. I don't know what it's like to have to design these things with them moving.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what goes into that. In my brain, I'm thinking like, I always remember like if I was going to play like Tekken 1 or like Virtual Fighter 3,
yeah.
the playthrough graphics were never as good as the movie sequence graphics.
Correct.
Because you were designing them for different purposes. So in my brain, I'm like, okay, this is when you're buying a Marvel collectible, it's going to move, so you can expect it to have a lesser quality because they can't, they don't.
I think you made a good point, right? Because like the expectation for me on these like Marvel stuff that's moves, it's like low like video games from like the Tekken 1 like back in the day, right? So they pretty much got video game designers to come in. I think there was one big guy from a big gaming company they got before, and and that's what he pretty much did, like game figures, right? So they bring in that kind of people to make these games, and then instead of making a full game, all you have to do is just make some basic movements and then make an NFT, right? That was it, right? So,
but they've got to fix it, because I just think like when I have a metaverse home, and I think about my current home, right? Nothmar, you're a statue guy now. You're a collectible guy, so you buy yourself a statue, and you're like, all right, I want a Thor statue. Exactly.
Dude, this guy is probably better quality than some of those.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying, right? Like when I want someone to come to my home in the metaverse and hang out, let them see the Todd Batman, the Becky Batman. They look great. But then they're like, what is this thing? And it's the Elektra and the Thor and the Storm side by side. Like I would have put those in the closet of my metaverse, right? Because
they'll be in the back.
But it's like, why would I ever show that off? So I would love for them to start doing, either go all the way with the Mighties, because the Mighties have that like Funko kind of thing going for them. Where I'm like, hey, I could put those on the wall, and that would be kind of cool to mess with, and that's fun. But then you're gonna go like all out statue. Like I can't show my mom and dad that.
Dude, they gotta hire, if you want to play a game, like be serious, hire Todd McFarlane as a consultant, bring in like whoever, Sideshow Collectibles, like these big time statue producers, like the DC quality statues, right? Those are really good, right? So
yeah,
it says something that despite being almost 1.5 times more expensive, the battle statue sold out right away. Right now, I got it. It didn't hold its price value, but it sold out right away. But it looks better, right? The Flash one does. I'm with you. I think the Flash is a pretty solid investment. But I don't know. Marvel's got to get their stuff together because it's just so bad.
Yeah, I'm optimistic that I do think the Thor looks much better than the previous collectibles.
I love it. Yeah. It does look okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so we'll see. Now, I was really happy, like I said, the ASM 194 I think is a slam dunk. I even I never buy the SRs, and I got a secret rare.
For 139 or something.
Yeah, like I paid 149. There's one for 139 right now. I've got some gems left over. Like if it drops to like 110, because it was as low as 110 when it first dropped. I'll probably go back in and grab two. Again, I just love the character that much. Yeah. I think she has a huge future. So I really like it. I grabbed, let me see how many. I've got 16 commons. Because again, at $4 or I got some at like $4 even, $3.90. Like again, if it goes to if you get it for $3.90 and it goes to 12, like
12 is good, right?
Yep, and I felt the same way for the Vengeance book, right? I felt the same way about the Vengeance book.
Dude, I hate to say this too. Another strategy for Vengeance, right? We all know which one is the money book, right? It's the variant. So I picked up a lot more of the variant of that. But then I got the regular common also. I stacked on that, but the variant is the one that I want to.
Wait, which variant? The uncommon?
The uncommon.
Is it
Yep.
uncommon?
I grabbed 2, because I was gonna buy one and then flip one. But right now, because of you, Nothmar, like I just got a third. We're just rocking. This is what we do on this show. We just buy live, right? But yeah, I agree. I think the money book is the uncommon.
The uncommon.
Because once comic book collectors, true collectors get here, they're gonna be like,
dude, they know.
What is the variant? I don't even know what the variant's actually worth.
Oh man, the variant, where is it, dude? That is like a $2,000 book or whatever, right?
That variant on eBay is no joke.
Oh, man, we're giving away the secrets, dude.
Yeah, but you know what though? Nobody listens. I feel like sometimes people don't listen. Like
9.6 is like 2,000. Yeah.
Yeah, like we've been saying with some of this comic stuff, like it is what it is. So I got my little bag for Vengeance. Yeah. Like if we're looking at, let's see, if we look at just the regular cover, like I have 5 of them, just because again they were so cheap. And I'm at a point now where like I might buy a couple more if I see like a mint that I like pop up for $450 or for $475. I'm buying a $4.99 right now because the mint's $48.10. Like there's like that sort of stuff. Like I'm not gonna walk away from.
Yep.
But for the most part, I'm good with the Vengeance books mainly because I bought a third, 1 in 25. The uncommon variant, thanks to Nothmar. Now I hit the ultra rare on the drop, which is my first ultra rare that I've hit, and I've been on this. Like it's wild. I hear people like people were like on those VeVe message boards. They're like, I haven't hit anything like blah blah blah. Like I've only ever gotten commons, and like I'm just like, dude, I've only ever gotten commons and uncommons since I started in August.
Actually, same thing. I've only been getting commons and uncommons. That's the first UR that I've got. The Thor one was the first non-common or uncommon for like months that I've gotten. So
so I was pumped to get the ultra rare, and so that might. What's funny is like if the ultra rare pops, that'll probably be the one that I sell because I just love the other 2 covers, like the common and uncommon. Mm-hmm. But overall, I was really happy with this week's drops, and oh my god,
troublemaker!
Show!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
You just in time. All right, real hot take off the top of your head. What are your thoughts of this week's drops? We've got the Thor collectible, ASM 194, and Vengeance. Go.
Thor. I mean, I think they were good. I think people that know about comics know like that the statues that they're releasing on the platform are based on, like different designs. Like I think that one's like the Bowen design or something like that for the Thor statue. I don't know. I think everybody should know that anything that comes out is going to go down in price right now. I mean, this is the most bearish the platform's ever been. If you're buying something and you expect to be making a profit right now, you either are really positive or you haven't been here very long.
You mean buying something on the drop?
Yeah, if you're buying it on the drop. Like there's still going to be money to be made and stuff, but I just mean like right now it's you're basically gambling. I would say that you're gambling.
Yeah.
Because there isn't a guaranteed return anymore, whereas before, if you had anything, you basically won.
Yeah.
Right. If you hit anything on the drop, you were doubling, tripling your money almost immediately.
It's evident to me that there's less than 15,000 people spending money on the app right now. After today's drop, it's evident to me that right now in this bearish cycle, due to the numbers released, there's definitely less than 15K people buying right now on the platform, at least on the drop day.
Right. Yep, so, I think it's safe. Now, when it comes to money and how much we're spending and what our plans are, for the next segment, like I know that we've all had conversations about what our plans are, where we are with like our I think we all kind of have different timelines and things that we're looking for. So for me personally, I've been saying this on the show for a while. I I really just want to be able to share my vault so that other people can see it who don't have VeVe. And I want the MCP lobby. Those have been my things, especially because I've been trying to collect, and I'm not doing it anymore because I'm waiting to see what the news looks like. But I was collecting with MCP in mind. You know what I mean? Like, and with that game in my brain. And those were my two things. Everything else, really, I was just kind of like, this is a 5-year plan for me. Like, wherever I'm putting my money. Now, as of lately, I'm definitely not. Like, I'm almost staying away from drop day unless it's something that I absolutely love and think is amazing. I'm pretty much, if I'm buying gems, looking at all the down markets and buying multiples of stuff I already have that I want to unload whenever, when the market recovers. So like today I bought like a second baseball stamp because I was able to grab it at 34, and I had one and it ran up to like 78. And I was like, man, I don't want to sell it because it's the only one that I have. The market came back down and I just decided to buy another one so that when it takes off again, I can, if I want to pull the trigger, I can. So I'm doing things like that. Ray, what about you?
Yeah, so I think I'm looking for sure 5 or so years out for a majority of it, right? Like I do want to see some type of return. I will pull out some on the next bull run, though, if I had to guess, right? Like I think after seeing the way the market cycles, I'll probably pull 25%-ish out on the next run, but probably keep most of it within VeVe waiting for another down cycle, right? Like I have enough faith in the platform and where it's going right now that I think VeVe wins out. I don't think any other platform is really giving it a run for the money, right? So, and it's definitely nowhere near its peak. And I think hopefully Sean shares what the web app looks like. Maybe that's what you're doing right now, is slowly logging in, and you can tell us if you like it or don't. But right, like they're moving in a solid direction. We need to, MTL still Q2 that they can satisfy that priority, and they get it done by July 1st. They've locked me in for another year, right? Like that's just what it is, right? Like I feel confident with that, and I'm with you. I unfortunately got weak today. I did buy on the drop, and it was just a terrible mistake. But I had the gems, and I was like, oh well. So nonetheless, I'm stuck now with a Thor uncommon, but a good mint. It's a triple-digit mint, so that I guess works out. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I have a couple. I think it really kind of comes down to life decisions. Being in the military, I move all the time. So if the need comes for another down payment and I can pull out enough, then probably, right? But I don't know. We'll see.
Nothmar, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a lengthy discussion with Sean online for this one. So I'm trying to liquidate as much as I can, but I mean, I'm not going to give away the farm, and surprisingly, like for example,
well, when you have 2,000 comics, Nothmar, what would you say liquidating the farm?
What does that even mean?
Yeah. Oh, I sold only 300 comics today, right?
I think it means for me, if I can't find a buyer to sell outright, which is probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try and sell and post like maybe 10 NFTs a day at like a price that I'm willing to sell it for, either floor or a little bit over floor, So I'm still, my goal, if I don't sell it, it's gonna be a recurring income for me. So I'm just gonna take profits, and hopefully this will just be extra side income for me as we go along. I'm trying to get rid of the higher priced ones to reduce my risk, and that's what happened. Like I sold my Superman, I sold a couple of my bigger Grail comics, and then I bought in some. Sadly, I broke my code, as I was saying earlier, and I bought in. I stacked again, so I bought another 200 comics. That's why I hit that 2,000 mark.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I didn't know you bought another.
Still has the polar
comic.
Yes, 200, roughly 200. So I was like, yeah, might as well. Like, so some people think I'm not serious, So I hit my milestones, like at least 2,000 comics and 700 collectibles.
That's what's up.
And it was still actually, and all of them were still stuff that are good investments, right? It's like the Black Cat at $4. I think it can hit $12. I got the Vengeance. I think that can also hit $12. And my big one is the Flash, right? At $80, I think that can hit 150, maybe in a year or two, because I think Flash is still in the same, almost the same level as Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and his movie's coming out.
Yeah,
his movie's coming out, and the movie's actually getting pretty solid reviews. Now, the guy that plays in the movie is an absolute lunatic that's just running around
still the same guy?
He's just assaulting everyone in Hawaii, but apparently the movie itself is pretty good.
Yep. So Flash, and I got one really low mint, I think like 100 something, but the rest are like the regular mid mints at like $80. So I got like 12 of them. So let's see. Hopefully, I'm still in the game, but I'm still protesting, but I'm still in the game.
I honestly think that in your position, because I didn't know that you were doing that, I thought you were just selling random shit. In your position, I actually would do the exact same thing and reduce my risk as well, especially this phase, because we don't know how long it's going to be bearish for.
Yeah,
and having $2,000 items isn't the same as Sean stacking $5 comics. That's a huge comparison.
You gotta take profits. We don't know if it's gonna go up and then it's gonna dip again hard again, right? So I sold some of the big ones, and I think it was still a strategic move that I got stuff that I think has now upside versus like the Superman. Hey, it might go up to 5,000 again, possible, but I think right now Flash has potential. I think, and if I do keep them like 3 to 5 years, I think it can hit $200, $300, right?
But not more. Todd is my soul. Todd is my soul.
Look at this way, like if you have a stack of comics that you bought for $4 a piece, the chance of those going down to $3 is pretty low. It happens, but from what I watch, they always bump back up to $4.55. Even shitty comics do. So like your risk ratio is super, super low with a stack of $4 comics, but on a $2,000 Superman, that motherfucker could go to $1,000. Like for sure it could. Like, and anybody doesn't think it can, they have to pay attention.
Yeah, even the I want more than 5 MC1s, and I have 5 because again I know how my brain is, and if I have 5 and it goes on a run, my brain is going to be like, but you wanted 5. You can't sell you can't sell any. And so I want a 6th to act as like the one that I can sort of buy and sell like at my leisure. And even MC1, like I missed it on this drop, but like it fell to 130. I was going to buy one and didn't, and it ballooned back to 185, and we've seen it kind of cross back over the 200 up to 230 and then swing back down. So the risk there is huge.
I had 13 MC1s. I'm down to 4 because like I felt like kind of like Nothmar felt like, I guess, just like in a different section, but like I felt like the risk for an MC1 at 250 versus my other portfolio, which is like super intelligently bought and like strategically bought, whereas the MC1s were more bought because they're a grail piece, and how everybody feels about those. But like you see it go from 250 to 240, and I mean, it's at 300, 800, and then you see it keep going down. But like my other comics, they just feel so much safer. Like I feel like those big ticket items, sure, somebody's probably gonna end up proving me wrong and being like, yeah, I had like 100 MC1s and I held them the whole time. Now they're worth like 5,000 a piece, and I'll be like, yeah, go fuck yourself. But like, but like for now, they definitely are going down, not up. So like when I did sell them, the last one I sold was for 260. So like I sold them on the way down, and now that they went down to 130, I was like, damn, I felt wrong the whole time, but then I saw it hit 130, and I was like, it turned out I was right. It was good to sell those.
Yeah, the goal is for me too to try and sell slowly too. I don't want to sell everything quickly and then suddenly
then you crash your own market.
Yeah, it goes up, it crashes the market, or it goes up, and then I lose some of the upside. So even my Marvel Comics 1, I'm down to 10. I sold one for 160, and it's hard for me to sell another one around that same price. I definitely, if I'm gonna sell it, has to be like 200 plus. So, but I might do it. Let's see. It's possible.
And I won't lie, talking about investment, I think I'm going to start selling off some of the bigger stuff. I'm trying my damnedest to wait until after MTL because I want to see that I think there's going to be another bigger drop, right? Or at least a little bit of one. I don't know. But then I think there's going to be a pretty meteoric rise just in people pumping it, right? They're like, hey, MTL's done. everyone pump it, and I think we're going to see like it's a stock chart that goes
exactly,
like
and that's
this,
why I
and
don't
then
want
it'll be a
to. That's why I don't want to sell everything that quickly. You know, you want to sell enough to reduce the risk, but then we want to stay alive when the market starts pumping, right? So we got to be in there. So.
Yeah, I think the more I'm thinking about it, and maybe it has to do with my experience with HRO last week, which I kind of like. I really don't like. Like I really wanted to just try and play the game a little bit with it, and I don't like the layout. I still don't get the cards. I think that's also a problem too. Like I can't wrap my head around it. Other than the fact that like it can be used to make money, I don't really. With the stuff that's on VeVe, for some reason, I'm just more. There's the bias that I'm more financially invested. But even when I wasn't invested at all in VeVe, it completely made sense. Whereas HRO, a little less so. But the nice thing about HRO is that this idea of being able to pull your money and put your money in. I think once VeVe has that ability. And we'll talk about the web app in a minute. Once VeVe has that ability, this is not responsible at all. I'm not saying that this is a good thing at all, but I can see every single teenager with a bit of entrepreneurial spirit just being like, just dumping money into the app because it's familiar pop culture stuff that they know and I guess arguably love, and
no storage fees, no physical burden.
Yeah, just the idea of getting Christmas money and birthday money and whatever as a gift.
You can hide it.
Right.
Yeah, I really do think comics are going to see a massive boom if once MTL comes and the YouTube base adds it. I think the comics are going to differentiate themselves from collectibles. Collectibles are really cool, but that needs the metaverse to have its utility. The comics are already there, right? You read them, you can display them, you see people doing their like little CGC quasi wannabe thing, right? Like once YouTube catches on and you can actually start pulling the money out, like it's going to go.
It's all about the money.
I have to say for cards, I think cards does have a little potential. So the HRO might have potential because I also collect sports cards, right? Like physical sports cards. And there was a time where I collected both, but then comics exploded. The sports cards was like fairly dead. And then it started heating up, right? And it's the same thing in the physical world. I think sports cards has like definitely less utility than a comic book, where comics we can actually read, right? So I think, I don't know, I was thinking about this also like a few weeks ago that even, so the sports card people, if they do join the NFT market, then it might blow up. So it's the same thing for us waiting for comic book people. There is a big sports card collector base. If those guys join, then that thing might blow up as well.
Think about this. Eventually, because Zuckerberg's going to make social medias connected to these asset type ideas.
Hold on to your horses.
Well, think about this. People are going to be able to be on Instagram, click on your sports card collection or your HRO collection, and you could go into a gallery. And you know how in physical, it's a pain in the ass to show everybody your collection?
Yep.
I mean, it's almost insane to show somebody your comic or card collection. You look like a fucking psychopath. But in HRO or in a sports card app, say Recur started releasing sports cards or something, it'd be freaking crazy. You could go in and look at somebody. You could look at a 10,000 card gallery and see every single one on the wall.
Yeah, what's wild is.
So you're definitely right. It could have potential for sure.
Potential.
Yeah, once social media platforms tie in to these spaces, whether it's HRO or VeVe or Recur, I just don't see that machine slowing down. I mean, I was just at a convention today, and you're like, when you tell, I took a moment. So we were selling it was a bunch. We had, I think, 15 long boxes of 2 for $5, and you're seeing people buy someone comes and drops $100 on 2 for $5s, and really maybe they read it. But for the most part, it's probably going in a long box and a collection. Maybe they'll read it once, and then it's there in a box and it's away.
Mm-hmm.
And once you realize, oh man, people are people are spending money on stuff and hiding it so frequently. Or not hiding it, just not displaying it. Like the fact that I could just click on any of your spaces and move through a space to see what you have.
That's the true value. That's the true value proposition.
Yeah, like Nothmar. I walked through your spatial again yesterday.
You saw I have legs now, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if this is by default. It is what it is. I'm not offended. It's cool, fine. But like I had like a female avatar. So that kind of like threw me through a loop because I didn't know. I thought I set my avatar, and then it was this like brunette, and I was like, yeah, whatever.
Did you look hot at least as a brunette?
You look good.
Dime piece. You know what I mean? But the fact that my own curiosity when you shared that made me just sort of see what you had up and where you had it displayed, I think just speaks volumes to what the possibility really is.
Yeah, my followers actually picked up yesterday. I picked up another like 30, 40 after a couple of posts yesterday.
You're a maniac.
Nice.
Now
I'm liquidating, but also just stacking 200. No big deal.
Yeah.
I only bought 200, 300 comics.
Yeah, I was gonna give it some breathing room after the show. Then I'm gonna post it.
Hey, you picked the best time to buy. Like if I wasn't moving right now, I would be going ape shit.
I was actually waiting for more stuff to bottom out. I wanted because I told one of our colleagues in the groups, right? I said, don't buy yet. Let it keep dropping because then you stack after it gets really cheap. So that's kind of a strategy. If you keep buying it, the prices keep going up and you're not going to get the best deal. So I said, hold it, let it keep dropping. And now, I pumped it. I got like 200, right? So
yeah, I'm trying to DCA as best I can for, dollar cost average as best I can for the lower books. Like Sean said, like there's only so much they're going to go down from here, right? So like Inhumans, the Black Cat, like $4 versus $3.
Yeah,
yeah, like grab it now before the overnight spike to 8, whenever that happens.
If Knicks can be 10 or 12 on the regular, like 9 when it's like has weak knees, like 8 or 9 when it has weak knees, then Chubb can get to 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, definitely can get to 6, 7, 8. That Knicks,
Sean, you own the uncommon too? Is that your?
The uncommon? I would stack the uncommon on that one would be my recommendation. I think people that are stacking the uncommon Chavez right now are ahead of the game.
Oh no, we're telling everybody the secret's out.
Hey, we gotta help people because our collection already kick ass.
Well, I bought like 10 more while we were on the call, so
Let's see. Let's see. Most
people don't listen to us anyways. They'll just be like, "There's no way," and then like a month later, we're right anyways. So whatever.
That's exactly what we said before you hopped on, and it's like, let's see.
They're still gonna buy the $60 Star Wars 1. That's what's gonna happen.
Is there any real time impact on our conversation? Let's see.
We call that the Nothmar impact. It's up $1. The uncommon.
We did it, guys. We did the needle.
Well, I bought a bunch of them though. That was me. I
knew Nothmar was stacking those uncommons quietly. He's just like, I hate VeVe and everybody should die. And then like behind the scenes, he's like, 1 uncommon Chavez, 2 uncommon Chavez.
Yeah, killing it. Now,
it's a good strategy. I see you.
It's a fantastic strategy. Moving on to the web app. Sean, have you logged on yet?
Yeah, I did. I looked at it. I think it works better than the app. It's very app-like, though, like other people are saying. But, I mean, to be realistic, most websites are app-like now. So, I mean, that's not really saying much to me. That's just saying that we live in 2022.
Any different features?
Not really, no. Like I said, it's like just like a blown-up version of the app. It still needs work. You can tell that, obviously, that's why we're testing it, and they're not letting everybody on it right now. So that's why it's really important for everybody to report the mistakes that they see and report stuff that they see that's odd, or that you'd want to improve, because they're definitely going to, because that's why we're looking at it early.
Now, I have not had a chance to log on to it. I'll probably do it tomorrow or Tuesday.
I haven't had a lot of time yet either.
I saw a quick one I already noticed was like it's a web app, but it's more geared towards the desktop. For the if you open it on mobile, everything gets stretched. So you're supposed to build it like responsive, right? So it can tell that, hey, are you looking at it from a phone? Then it makes it smaller. So that's one feedback already I noticed.
Yeah, that's actually one of them I was going to send to him. I was going to say when I pull it up on my phone, it sucks ass. Like that's legit. You guys need to work on your sizing, and like it needs to adjust for my screen because it's like eating words off the end of stuff, and I mean, you can't do that.
Now, is it connected to your VeVe wallet where you can buy, sell, like does it look like that original where you used to be able to transfer stuff with the QR code and everything?
I haven't looked at that part yet. I didn't look at the whole thing. I just looked at it literally for like 30 seconds and just skimmed it.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens with the with not having to use the Apple and the Google for the taxes. Because I was telling Carmen, HRO, when you buy gems on their app, like one gem is worth like $1.50, right? Because the Apple fees, the Google fees. You buy it on their web app, a gem is $1 because they're, or like $1.07, whatever the tax is, right? Like standard. So I'm curious to see if the web app.
Yeah, there's no fee. Like there's no store fee to buy. You literally, it's the gems are what they are.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is good because Apple was taxing that ass.
That they were. So I'm curious to see if that does anything. Huh.
I mean, most of us, a lot of us were honest. We bought a lot of our gems from the market.
Yep.
We supported the community and we put the gems directly into the market, not through the black market. So like,
yep.
Well, I think that's, I think that kind of put us in a position, like once you saw how much was getting ripped from Apple and everywhere else,
yep,
it kind of caused what it caused. Now,
the black market hopped up is because those fees were so high.
Right.
People are going to pay, unless you have a good job, then it doesn't matter. Then I would recommend not to use the black market because it all evens out because you have a decent job. But like, if you have a shitty job, you're definitely using the black market.
Well, I mean, it's like anything else, right? Like it's essentially just like anything else. Now, I think we'll see once MTL hits. I'm curious to see what will happen to that black market if you're going to see much of an adjustment. I mean, I'm excited for the web app just because I want. Hopefully, it just makes a social media experience a little bit better. Like I really hate the social media like experience on the app, right? The comments, the sharing, the follows, it needs to be completely redesigned. And I'm hoping that the website kind of eventually turns into that. Ray, is there like a social media aspect of HRO? I didn't play around with it too much.
Yeah. So, well, I guess not really in app either. Like it's the same. I just don't get it. Both VeVe and HRO. Although I think with HRO you can friend other people. Don't hold me to that though. I'll have to check. But bottom line is it's about the same. But HRO has done the leaderboards that you can go watch, and then all that's done on the Discord. But still, like, why should a company have to defer to Discord and not within their own app, right? So.
Yeah, I think that's because like it's easier. They don't have to do a lot of coding for that site, so they're taking the easy route.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, I guess to wrap up the show, we've got about 10 minutes. Typically, we do like how to spend 1,000 gems, but I'm just curious to hear about, and we kind of touched on it here and there. If you are buying things, what are you buying? Do you have gems budgeted for drops? Are you waiting for aftermarket? Are you looking forward to, like, if in 2 weeks an indie artist drops something, is that something that you're interested in? Part of me is like, even if an indie artist drops something that I'm interested in, I'm just so afraid of what may happen. Like the idea of a 120 gem indie artist painting is just scary to me in this market. Sean, if you are going to buy things, what are you buying right now? What are you looking for?
For me, for what I would recommend anybody, it would all depend on their collection and what they have already. So like, for me, since I have a lot of Miles Morales, I'm looking to dollar cost average into that at all opportunities to control market share of the lower mints, because I have been buying the lower mints of those for a long time. So like I have a lot of them. So for me, it matters big time how many of them I control. But for like the average user, that doesn't fucking matter if you have like 10 of each comic. That's, you don't control shit of the market. So I would be buying I would buy like hundreds of the $4 keys. I mean, I would go buy 100 Chavez, and then I would go buy 100 Black Cats, and I'd call it a day.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not exactly there with you, but I'm pretty close. Nothmar, what about you?
Oh yeah, I mean, like for me, I would definitely. I mean, I was also tempted to buy some of the grails, like the golden moments that got cheaper. Like the Elsa was like 900, the Avengers, Iron Man. So if I was in that mode that I was all out, which I'm not, I would have probably bought, one of those again and at least had some golden moments because I sold everything. All my golden moments are all gone. C3PO, Star Wars, I sold them all. So I would, if I was still hardcore believe in VeVe, I would definitely look into those. Otherwise, I just am just in normal comic book collecting mode. Look for deals, look for things that I think might have upside as an asset that's gonna go up. So I definitely those $4 keys that Sean mentioned, the Black Cats and the Chavez, and then the Flash. I think those are deals because I like deals. I like to get stuff when they're still cheap, and then where I see that they can go up to 5x down the road. So I would personally I would stick to that strategy. But if I suddenly get a lot of gems, or if suddenly Iron Man goes down to 200, maybe I'll get it. So I would look into getting some of those like golden moments back, because I do miss them. And it was painful selling even my Superman. I was thinking keeping one, but I was like saying, I got them for cheap. I think, market was down for a while. I think it's better just to put it into some of these like cheaper assets that can have, upside. So, I made a decision to sell them.
Okay, nice. Ray, what about you?
So I like the stacking plan. I think works well. I did on the Knicks. I did not do the Black Cat. I guess I need to go buy like 10, right? Like I guess I need to. Don't know. But I'm a bit of a degenerate, and I like to gamble on what's going to give me a real, possibly good return, right? So I still think if you're brand new and you don't have a Marvel Comics 1, get one. If you don't have a ASM common collectible, perhaps, as it's down in like the 250.
I just bought mine back, actually.
Yeah, right? So it's like, that's my bet on something that if the platform takes off and the big whales, like I want the one item that no one else has, probably one of the season 1 collectibles. So that's one of my big bets, right? I am waiting my secret buy. I'm hoping Becky Batman hits like 400, and then I'll get me one of those. I really like the Becky Batman, and it hit like 5 or 6K before, but it's taken a very precipitous fall over the past couple weeks, so kind of brutal. But nonetheless, that's one of my. But right now, I've got money set aside for drops. I'm waiting on a bigger comic book to drop, kind of like Strange Tales, that could go in on maybe a GSX1, a Hulk 181 or something. That'd be a.
Rhodey's coming out.
Is that a big book? I have no idea.
I don't know. I like all the Iron characters. I collect the Iron characters, so like I'm biased,
Yeah.
Hey, let's go with some of the viewers feedback here. So yep. If I had the money, I would stack 2. It happened the same with Spidey and Captain America.
Oh, she's all stacking the common Thor collectible, I think, right? Yeah. No, I think that if you stacked 50 Thor commons right now, you'd come out real well on the other end. I mean, again, like Nothmar's already said, right? Like, if the Storm, and she looks like that, can somehow hit 120, there is no reason Thor cannot hit 120.
Yep.
I got it. Storm is a huge X-Men character, huge in the African-American community, but Thor is like, and he's got a new movie coming out, right? Everyone loves him, so...
Another one, website makes looking at the marketplace much easier, and I like the direction. So I guess we got to check it out, right? Go to the marketplace, see if it's better to search stuff there. So let's take a look. And then another one here, thoughts on the OMI to collectibles and what it'll do to the markets.
I guess so.
Oh my God.
So I think Sean, what are your thoughts on this? Because we've heard this at length.
I'm extremely excited for OMI to NFT. I think that OMI to NFT has been their entire plan for literally 5 years. And regulation, when they were planning OMI to NFT 5 years ago, when they were signing all these deals, trying to get Disney and all these companies to see the vision that you and their whole company was talking about, there was no regulation. They had no rules that they had to plan for. They literally was the fucking Wild West. Like, they didn't have to plan for this shit. And then now all of a sudden they're like, NFTs are 28% capital gains. Everything's fucking going to be insane. They're like, we're going to freaking come for your ass if you sell these and don't pay the government. Like, so it changed so dramatically that in New Zealand changed a lot. That's where it changed a ton. Their shit is strict as hell there. Like, they're super anti-money laundering.
So one thing I have to add, though, I think regulation may be a big part, but I think the fluctuating value of OMI is a factor too, because it's dipping high, up and down. So you could potentially lose value on something you bought like significantly any day. So I think, like you see now, crypto market is like extremely volatile, right? So I think that may also be a factor why they decided to kind of take it away, because it's not stable. It was supposed to be one OMI. One gem, one OMI, and that's pegged to the OMI. I don't think that can handle. Look at the stable coin, right? It collapsed. It could not.
I think being tied to the dollar and the gem actually is what's making it weak. I think that if it was tied to OMI, we'd have way higher prices.
Yeah,
I think the US dollar is the weak part of this, and I think the US dollar is what's making these NFTs trash. Because if you look at other NFT programs, they don't use cash. Like Club, they don't use cash. They don't use gems. They use their currency.
I think regardless of whether or not something is causing these dips, I think if the OMI to collectibles happens, if OMI to gem happen, I think the market will explode. I just think there's so much crypto wealth that exists.
Trillions.
Well, OMI, if that happens, I think OMI will explode, right? Because if it's tied to a dollar, dude, right now it's valued much less. It has to go up for it to meet that dollar, right?
Well, no, it's OMI. So I don't. So it would just, at least from the way I understand it, you would just need however many OMI that would equal $1 to buy. So like if
you're going to be able to use OMI to buy stuff.
Like, so if you need 100 OMI or whatever, right? Like if you need 100 OMI to get $1, well then if a gem's worth $1 in the app, then you would just need if an ASM collectible was 1 gem, then you would just need 100 OMI to buy that ASM collectible.
Right. Yeah, but if that OMI drops, like, in value, you need double or triple, whatever it might be, right? So that's
Yep.
It's gonna be like an actual NFT app where we can see stuff go to like $10,000 in an afternoon and then see it crash down to like 37 cents.
Yep.
So it's gonna be freaking awesome, and I think it's also gonna self-regulate though over time, and it's not gonna be as volatile as we think, because their staking programs that I've read about are gonna be freaking amazing for keeping these things in people's pockets and not wanting to sell them. I think they're gonna come out with a ton of incentives for people to hold on to these things. And a ton of OMI is going to get staked, and it's going to cause it to be super stable, more stable than I think the American dollar is.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a long time until we see that. I think it's going to be years. I don't think this is going to happen I don't think this is like a Q4 this year thing. I think this is going to be a long vision, and I think that the fact that we had to stop for MTL has slowed down this entire process.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, I think OMI, once that bridge happens, I think it will increase the number of people who come to the app. And as a result, I just think you're going to see collectibles and comics kind of explode. Now, what else is going to happen? I have no idea. I just think at the end of the day, it will just bring more consumers to the app.
What about the argument that it's already like, because I've already sold my OMI, right? Like I actually, before OMI took the major crash, right? I used the OMI to buy the gems off the app, and then I got the gems, right? What about the argument that the crypto, if they wanted to come over, they can come over now.
You have to pay a ton of fees. There'd be a ton of fees to get your Ethereum all the way into the app. You'd be paying.
Oh, I do XLM though, and it's super cheap. XLM is the.
I mean, if you have 10 million Ethereum, that's a shit ton of fees.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like, I guess you're saying if you already have the Ethereum.
Yeah, why would you pay fees? Why wouldn't you just go buy a Bored Ape Yacht Club?
But you'd have to go Ethereum into OMI, no?
But, yeah, you're still paying fees.
You're still paying a fee for the Ethereum to the OMI.
Yeah, but I think what you're going to be able to do is somebody explained it to me weird where it's going to be different. I need to talk to him because I don't want to just make it.
I would love. Again, I have no fucking idea.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I would love to. We used to get someone from the group that's super smart.
We have some crypto guys. We can probably hire Mike Kessler.
That's what I was going to say. I wanted to ask one of them.
Yeah.
Now we got a final comment. All the feedback is greatly appreciated. Whole point of beta testing, and yes, it is integrated fully with your wallets. Good. Awesome. Like I said, I'm going to explore it today, or like I said, tomorrow and Tuesday, and then hopefully by next week, me and Sean and maybe Nothmar and Ray, you guys will get that invite. We'll probably have a bit of feedback.
We'll give a.
Wait, Nothmar, you got it too?
I got it too.
Oh my god. Well, never mind. Ray just.
I just don't post on the app anymore.
You use HRO
once a day.
Dude,
they found out. They found out.
I post LOL almost every morning. So there you go.
Just post a few pictures.
Now, real quick before I leave, I'll just share my quick what I'm buying and why I'm buying it. It's a split, I think, between stacking things that I already have so that I have the courage to sell them later, at least to get an additional one. Like, I like the Thor Commons. I bought 2 just so I can sell one. Like I said, that baseball stamp, I bought 2 just so I can sell one. So I'm sort of just going back and looping back through and seeing if I believe in where that's going to go and if I'm going to want to sell it. And it really matters. What really matters is the basement price point that we're at, right? So if that baseball stamp was at 50, I probably wouldn't buy a second one. But since it's at 34, I grabbed it. So I'm kind of playing my own game. It's based on my own collection. And then the other half of what I'm really looking to do is kind of what Sean said. I think if you, again, not financial advice, but these $4 books that are huge key issues, Black Cat, the Black Cat book, the Yelena book for any of these $4 books that are huge key issues of future players, right? This America Chavez, she's in a movie. We know that she's going to be very present in probably the next 5 to 10 years. I'm waiting for like a Miss Marvel drop to happen. We're seeing this like next gen key issue drop happen. And if those things are gonna fall flat at $4 a piece because people just don't know how the comic book market is, I think you should probably take advantage of it. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm not buying 200 at a clip, but I'm trying to grab maybe 10 or 20. If I could buy 200, though, Nothmar, I would. So I'm there with you, dog. Any final comments before we head out?
My secret buys are the Black History Month keys. I would recommend everybody get some of them.
There we go.
They were released at a time where everybody was overextended because they released stuff constantly and it got nuts. So like a ton of people didn't buy in on those. They're great value. Like Luke Cage 1, great value.
Now they're sub 10. They're like $8, $7 for sure.
Yeah. The first appearance of the Rambo. I mean that gets down to $6 sometimes. Like what? Like damn, I'll take all those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I also got some SRs, right? The SR for the Miss America, 1 SR for Black Cat, and 1 SR for the New Mutants Annual 2 for Psylocke. So they were like low hundreds, right? So I thought it was a good deal since I had a lot of gems.
Yeah, Wear Up by Nights down to $10. So
that's the one I didn't get.
Like $10.
I picked up the first appearance of Noel on the Silver Surfer Secret Rare. That one's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good cover pop. Yeah,
I love Noel though. I have a symbiote, secret little NFT symbiote collection I'm building that I like. It's a little corner of my collection.
Nice.
And I want Star Wars, but I'm waiting for it to drop. I'm not gonna buy it at that price. So
yeah, I'm waiting. I got one of the uncommon and one from the common as just personal, just PCs, and those are 2 books that I would like to come back around and buy doubles of or triples of to sell later. But they're just not at the floor that I feel comfortable pulling the trigger at right now.
Yeah, 40 is a big risk versus paying $4 for an equal key.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you so much. As always, thank you for hanging out in the dojo. Everyone at home, please leave your comments. Please share the video. Thank you for hanging out. Have a good one, guys. See you later.
Hey, take care, guys.